Hello there.
So at the time of recording this, my initial Star Trek pilot reaction has 172 views and 44 likes and 0 dislikes. Now, that is absolutely fantastic. You guys might think, oh, 172 views, that is nothing, but it means the world to me, and the interaction has been fantastic from you Star Trek fans, and I think it warrants me reacting to the first proper episode of Star Trek ever aired. So what's going on, guys? My name is Ellie Moses, a 23-year-old law and film student here from Sydney, Australia, shooting his shot, baby, and today we are here to officially begin the Star Trek the original series by reacting to the first ever episode titled The Man Trap. So I'm hella excited to get into this one. I love the comments so far on the pilot reaction, you guys discussing about the show, what happened behind the scenes about the pilot and how characters and actors were replaced. So I'm hella excited to see the first official ever aired episode of Star Trek the original series. So I cannot wait to get into this reaction. Now watch someone go and dislike the other video just to ruin it. But yeah, it is what it is. We're here to react to the first ever episode of Star Trek. Let's get into the reaction. Let's have some fun with this thing and let's smash it. Let's go. So I'm watching this show through the lens of seeing it for the first time in the 60s. Like, that's the respect I want to give it, if that makes sense. I don't want to watch it through a modern lens and just say, oh, and crap on the effects and crap on this and everything. No, I respect the production design, especially in the pilot episode. I talked about respecting the production design, respecting the effects and all the sets, and the color palette was absolutely fantastic as well, because at the time, color was just being introduced to TV, and everyone would have probably freaked out at this show and the lengths they went through to portray this otherworldly experience. So I'm hella excited for it, hella excited. And also William Shatner's first episode as Captain James Kirk. So let's get into it. And I love the 4:3 aspect ratio. Used to it with Buffy. So
Stardate 1513.1. Our position, orbiting planet M113. On board the Enterprise, Mr. Spock, temporarily in command.
Okay.
On the planet, the ruins of an ancient and long-dead civilization.
Oh, this is Captain Jim Kirk of the Enterprise.
Yo. Okay.
This is great.
She put
I've
some
already read you
juju
about
on her
you.
ex-husband.
Oh, good, I hope.
Something wrong, Darnell?
Oh, excuse me, sir, but ma'am, if I didn't know better, I would swear that you were somebody I left behind on Wrigley's Pleasure Planet. It's funny, you're exactly like a girl that...
Little less mouth, Darnell.
I'm sorry, sir, I didn't mean to, I know it's impossible, of course.
Why don't you step outside, Darnell?
Yes, sir.
I'm interested to see whether this sort of idea was taken from the pilot episode, with the girl obviously, having crash landed and sort of her body reconstructed and then the illusion portrayed of her beauty. I wonder if that sort of similar idea was inserted into this one, with obviously the illusion of McCoy's ex-wife being portrayed to other characters.
Thank you, sir.
It's quite warm here, isn't it?
Complete different vibe from the pilot episode already. Should I skip the intro?
Space.
Nah, I'm joking.
The final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise.
Let's go. So my boss at work, she's actually, quick story here, she's a massive Star Trek fan, like absolute, she can recall episodes like off the top of her head, nothing, she's seen it all. And I told her last week I watched the initial pilot episode, and she goes, oh, is that the one with Captain Pike? And then she started rehearsing the entire episode. I'm like, yes, okay, I get it. She's amazing. Her intellect about it is absolutely astonishing. And she was telling me, oh, they replaced this actor and this actress from the pilot episode. It didn't go down well and everything. I'm like, because I was asking her, I'm like, oh, they must keep It must be the individual that just played Pike, that he was the one just that was replaced. She goes, no, they replaced the number one actress and everything. I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, I like number one and the other girl and everything else. And she goes, yeah, they replaced them all. I'm like, oh, damn. And I had to stop her from telling me any more because she was going into spoiler territory in terms of like the series with the Next Generation. I'm like, no, stop. Like she just went on. She could go on forever. It's crazy. I'm getting 2001: A
Captain's
Space
log.
Odyssey vibes here with the
Additional entry.
monolith structures and
Since our
this
mission was
setting.
routine, we had beamed down to the planet without suspicion. We were totally unaware that each member of the landing party was seeing a different woman, a different Nancy Crater.
I'm not joking, Jim. She hasn't aged a day. There's not a gray hair in her head. She's got some gray bones.
Excuse me, Professor. She's a handsome woman, yes, but hardly 25.
Well, at any rate, she doesn't look a day over 30.
Genuine affection. I'm glad you still feel it for her.
Oh, she killed him. 100%. 100%. She's catfishing everyone. The Tinder profile was a fraud.
Twisting it. The minute you look at me like you don't believe me.
No. It's not that at all. It's something entirely different.
I don't.
Salt. Did ask him about more salt tablets.
I'll take care of the provisioning, Nancy.
Bob the Builder is sus too. Don't worry.
Lady, or ask me if I've ever been in love. Tell me how your planet Vulcan looks on a lazy evening when the moon is full.
Vulcan has no moon.
I'm not surprised, Mr. Spock.
Yo, Spock, bro, she was building the stairs there. Come on, man.
Party returning. They report one death.
Bridge acknowledging.
I feel like even the whole of the ship looks much more different, the command center, than the pilot.
Explain.
More
You
vibrance
explain.
to it.
That means that somebody is dead and you just sit there. Could be Captain Kirk. He's the closest thing you have to a friend.
Lieutenant, my demonstration of concern will not change what has happened. The transporter room is very well manned, and they will call me if they need my assistance. According to all the tests, he should get up and just walk away from here.
He's gonna do an Undertaker right here.
I don't know. I'll have the test double-checked. My eyes may be tricking me. Sodium chloride. Not a trace of it. This man has no salt in his body at all.
Bob was talking about the salt on the
I
planet.
can't. Except what we normally carry in our bodies is gone from his. He would die almost instantly.
Ah, there isn't a mark on his body.
Except the red rings on his face.
You call that skin modeling?
I thought it was, sir. Another error on my part.
I'm not counting them bones. One of the missions of the Enterprise is to protect human life in places like this. I'm going to have to ask you and Mrs. Crater to stay aboard my ship until we find out what killed that crewman.
But you can't do that.
But I can, Professor.
You mustn't do it. It'll interfere with our work.
How? You've been here 5 years. Will a couple of days make a difference?
I love the lighting in this episode so far. I mean, we've seen the planet already sort of have this like orange tinge to it in the background, orange atmosphere, and we've seen it obviously from orbit as well, from the Enterprise. And then the room here is lit with all these beautiful like orangey, yellow, purple, and red colors, and it's absolutely fantastic. Now, I'm not sure if that's like emanating from the planet itself, and the rays are going into the sort of the set, or like obviously not into the set, but into like this little hut right here, or if it's just like the lighting of the room itself. But I'm pretty sure it might be
Arrange
from the
quarters for
planet
Professor
itself.
and Mrs. Crater. Did you get the plant analysis?
It is the Borgia variety, Captain. Could not have caused Darnell's death. Jim, he's run off.
Better locate crewman Green. Green!
Actually, the color of the atmosphere as well. It's got this orange, purpley, red hue to it. Beautiful. She a shapeshifter, man. Oh, she playing them all. Lots of purples, reds, yellows, and orange this episode in terms of like even the production design, the set design.
Oh, Green, what went on down there? Who do you think you are?
How about that?
Yeah, how'd you like to have her as your own personal yeoman?
That guy looks like Seth MacFarlane in the red. I like how through Green or Nancy tailing Janice right here, we get to see more of the ship.
Where are you, Sulu?
In here feeding the weavers, Janice.
Well, I've got your tray.
May the great bird of the galaxy bless your planet.
Thank you. Hello, Beauregard. How are you today, darling?
Her name's Gertrude.
No, it's a he plant. A girl can tell.
Oh, the plant recognized something or sensed something. The plant sensed a disturbance in the force. I want to see the salt sucking in action.
I better get this tray back. Bye, Beauregard.
Wait a minute. I'll walk along.
Lieutenant Uhura, report to the bridge.
Lieutenant Uhura, on my way, sir.
No pun intended, but I like how they're using Nancy's character as a shapeshifter, sort of like as a vessel to explore certain sections of the ship, and especially as an introductory episode, we're seeing sort of like the botanist lab side of the ship, we're seeing sort of other segments as well as we're sort of traversing and seeing Nancy stalk other individuals, obviously to get their salt, I think, or suck the salt out of them, but it's a clever way to sort of explore other aspects of the ship and sort of show off the production design of the ship, which is absolutely fantastic. It's really, really vibrant. I didn't expect the color scheme to be this very vibrant and rich in color as well. I think it's very contrasted to the first episode or like the pilot I watched, where some of the like it was pretty colorful, but a lot of the colors feel a bit more drained out. And I know I'm talking about the color palette and you guys probably don't care, but I just feel like this episode, it's much more vibrant and more appealing to look at. I feel like the color scheme is much more just appeasing to the eye. And yeah, I like how we're, like I said, using Nancy's shapeshifter here as she's stalking various individuals on the ship or tailing them, and through that we have also sort of like a threat on the ship, an imposter, but at the same time we're exploring other segments of the ship as well.
If we let out a yell, I want an armed party down there before the echo dies.
Yes, Captain.
Who's number one then? Is it Spock or is it... I'm not too sure. Spock might be number one because it says he's sort of second in command or temporarily in command.
Nancy.
My husband? I like your feelings better. Much stronger.
She belonged to the streets.
He's been telling me to take these.
I think you should. I'll get you some water.
Come on, McCoy. We're smarter than this, buddy.
Bridge Sulu. Trouble on deck 9, section 2. We need a medical team.
Really? The first thing you said is look at his face? Not like, oh! Someone's dead! I didn't buy that reaction from her. Oh, she wiped the sweat off his forehead. The salt.
Dr. McCoy.
The salty tinge.
Dr. McCoy, to the bridge.
Oh, she's gonna shapeshift into McCoy now. Great. Yep, pan across to reveal McCoy.
Dr. McCoy, to the bridge.
Yep.
The answer lies with Professor Crater.
I love the set design here of this sort of planet. when they are down here. And at the same time, you get this feeling as the audience. So if I was watching this in the 60s for the first time, I get this feeling that I'm in a galaxy very far away. Not to quote Star Wars, I feel bad, but like you get that feeling and you're immersed in this like otherworldly experience as well. And the production design is absolutely fantastic. And before, earlier on in the episode, there was this fantastic wide, long shot, steady, like it's a long shot, but it was a steady long shot, and it was a wide shot, establishing sort of like the scenery of this planet. And there was multiple rock formations you could see, and you could see sort of like the mountains in the distance, and obviously the horizon and the color scheme of the sky. And it kind of looked like a miniature design as well, like a model, and it was perfect. It was a perfect establishing shot of the planet. And then obviously they're using sort of these like 2 or 3 set designs here, or sort of sound stages roaming the planet, and they're reused, but at the same time you still get that feel that it's another planet. And it's not only down to the sky, but it's also just everything to do with it, the way it's shot, and it's absolutely fantastic. You have these rock formations, you have sort of this like sort of temple structure as well, and it's all fantastic. And yeah, I can see how at the time people watching this, they get this feel that they're on another planet, and it's an unearthly experience, like they're truly
Professor Crater,
exploring other worlds.
We don't want you here.
We? Where's your wife, Professor?
She's no concern of yours.
We're worried about her safety. Aren't you? Professor, you're a reasonable man. Let me...
The eye contact here from Kirk as well makes it as if
Casualty, Captain.
Crater is like
dead on deck 9. Same symptoms.
Crater is like elevated. He's he has the high ground or something.
Something here through the arches to your left.
He beamed up to the ship with us.
Or something did.
I didn't expect so many members of the crew to die this episode. I know they're probably expendable characters, but still.
Enterprise from Kirk.
Bridge, Zulu.
You have an intruder aboard. Could be masquerading as Crewman Green. General quarters. Security, condition 3.
Damn.
We don't want you here.
He's not trying to kill us, he's trying to frighten us. And he's doing a pretty good job.
Acknowledged.
Crater?
Yo, brother got outflanked.
My wife, Professor, where is she? Professor, I'll forego charges up to this point. But this creature's aboard my ship, and I'll have it, or I'll have your skin, or both. Now, where is it?
I don't know. Throughout this scene when Crater has been talking, it seems like he's been making eye contact with McCoy or like the creature itself, but I'm not too sure if he's been looking at Kirk. But at the same time, I don't know if he's realized that the creature is actually taking the shape of McCoy and he actually senses it and can recognize it, because he's been making eye contact in that direction, and I've been paying attention to it, but I'm not sure if he's gonna expose it.
Recommend we use truth serum, Captain.
Doctor.
That won't be necessary.
Well, I resist using it, but in this case, the professor will give us the truth.
Professor Crater.
Dead.
We got the hubby.
Had you too.
Fortunately, my ancestors spawned in another ocean than yours did. My blood salts are quite different.
Easy. Nobody's going to... But you must help me!
The way Kirk walked into that room.
Move aside, Bones.
What's going on here, Jim?
She's not Nancy Bones.
Look at her. Leonard, if you love me, make him go away.
You want this, Nancy? Come on, Nancy. Come and get it. Come and get it. Here it is.
Get out, McCoy, get out of the way! Here, you want this?
Are you out of your mind?
Get out of the way!
Brother, look at her! Oh, she paralyzed him. Come on, McCoy.
It's killing the captain, Sue, quick! I won't shoot Nancy. This is not Nancy. If she were Nancy, could she take this?
Damn, Spock!
Stop it! Stop it, Spock! Stop it!
What in the fly is that? Motherfucker looks like Chewbacca as an octopus. I don't know how to describe the look of that monster, but it's creepy, or alien, or creature. A pretty darn good prosthetic, I'm not gonna lie, that's very creepy. Please stay as Nancy.
No.
Lord, forgive me.
Yes, that's the last of its kind, and the last time I shall see it, hopefully. Fuck! It went back. I wonder what the inspiration for that design was.
I'm sorry, Bones.
It looks like a very like Chewbacca. I don't know, like it had like octopus rings on its hand, and it looks like it's caught in a fish net. I wonder what the like concept art was for that.
Something wrong, Captain?
I was thinking about the buffalo, Mr. Spock. Warp 1, Mr. Sulu.
Warp 1, sir. Leaving orbit.
Hey, that was a pretty good first episode, I'm not gonna lie. Like, in terms of comparing it to the pilot, I actually enjoyed the pilot. Like, I like the pilot as well. I feel like it's on par with this. I feel like they're very similar in terms of quality. And in terms of, like, telling a difference between Pike and Kirk at the moment, I really can't tell a difference so far. I think they're both good as the captain. I forgot the individual that plays Pike, but I think William Shatner is great as Captain Kirk. And he's iconic. Like, he's a household name in pop culture because of Star Trek, and he is fantastic in this as well. And I can see why to this day people laud him as this character. Obviously, he's great in this, but I also thought the individual that played Pike was also great in the first episode. And you can see the similarities between the pilot episode and this episode as well, in terms of like the sort of the shape-shifting individual and the illusions in the pilot episode. And as well, there was sort of like a rock formation, like temple like structure as well that the characters went into. Even the color palette, like there was a fantastic shot in the first pilot episode, in one of sort of like the dreamlike illusion sequences, where it was like this purple background, a purple sky, contrasted with sort of like the orange sort of forefront of the scene, and like this castle area. And I feel like sort of some of the color palette from that pilot transitioned into this episode as well. But I liked how we saw more of the ship in this episode, got to see more segments of it, and I feel like that's not the last of it as well. We're going to explore way more of the ship than just this episode, in future episodes as well, and then just this episode as well. But I feel like this episode was a good introductory episode into Star Trek. Interested that we only had like sort of one female character interaction aboard the ship, like a crew member. Oh, two, sorry. We had like sort of the lady that was taking up the food to the botanist, and then we had the other individual, I forgot her name. But no sort of prominent female characters as of yet, like the first episode in number 1 and the other individual. I feel like those female interactions were pretty cool in the first episode, in terms of like the illusionists picking out their urges. I found that like intriguing. It was pretty funny, and I was like, I feel like the chemistry with the female characters was better in the first episode, like the pilot episode, but I feel like it will continue to grow and develop as the show progresses. It is only the first episode, and I feel like this show is going to continue to grow, and it might start off slow, but as it goes on, it will be like kind of like Buffy, where Buffy sort of finds its feet later on. Like the start is solid, but then it will find its feet later on. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction to the first ever episode of Star Trek. I rambled on too much at the end, but I wanted to give my thoughts, as I did during the episode as well. It wasn't like a blow your mind first episode, but putting myself in the seat as someone watching it in the 60s for the first time, I can see how this episode would have caught the attention of many individuals, and like curiosity would have overwhelmed them as well. They're like, oh, okay, an interesting alien shapeshifter creature here. We get this Starship Enterprise sort of spaceship right here where you get to explore other segments of the ship. I wonder what else is on this ship. I wonder what other planets we're going to explore. I wonder what other creatures there are in this universe. So this episode definitely would have prompted a lot of curiosity and definitely glued audiences or households to their seats for the next episodes because of the various sort of like different planets, obviously planet explored this episode, and a different type of creature that's otherworldly. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction. As always, it's been your boy Lee Moses. Take care. God bless. Peace.